Welcome to your front split flow. Go ahead and take a nice seated position on your mat. Sit bones are going to ground down. And on your next exhale, let's take 3 grounded breaths together. 1. Exhale, let it all out. Inhale 2. Exhale, let it all out. Inhale 3. Exhale, let it all out. We're now going to move into seated cat-cow. So start moving at your own pace here. Make these movements feel good in your body. Coming back to your center. We're now going to move onto our backs. So lie down on the mat. Legs are going to come up to 90 degrees to a tabletop, and we'll move into some bicycles. The important thing to note here is that the form is the most important thing here. So even if you're moving really slowly, you're still getting great core engagement. Move with your breath. Make sure that your lower back is grounded to the floor as you move. This will help protect your spine. Great job. Bring your knees in. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Let it go. Straighten your legs to the ceiling. And we're going to move into half split pulls. Because we're just warming up here, don't feel like you need to pull as hard as possible. Take small movements just to warm up the hamstrings here. We don't want to overwork anything. Great job. Make sure that you are really pushing your lower back into the ground in this movement. Bring the knees in and relax. Let's sit back up here. We're going to move into our seated spinal twist. So the left leg is going to come over right, and you're going to reach your right arm to the sky and twist. Remember that on your inhale, you are rooting from the spine up through the crown to the ceiling. Move to the other side. And when you exhale, you are twisting a little bit more. So use that breath to optimize your movement here. So we should be finishing the other side now. Wonderful. Come back to the center. Let's come into our bound angle pose. Spine straight. If it's available to you, feel free to forward fold a little bit here, but I want you to maintain your spine integrity. So no rounding your spine here. Keep your spine nice and straight. Add a little movement if that feels good to you. Usually always feels good to me, as you can see. Move with the breath. Moving into a forward fold. So legs stretch in front of you, arms stretch up towards the ceiling, and come forward to reach whatever is available to you. Reaching back up, legs come out into a variation of a middle split, and you will again come forward as much as is available to you. So we're going to be moving in a dynamic movement here from middle splits to forward folds. Coming back into your forward fold again. Here we are back in middle split, Reaching back up towards the ceiling, coming forward into your forward fold, back up, coming back down into your middle split. Bringing a little bit of movement into your body here. Flexing or pointing the feet. Legs come back together. Stretch it out. Standing up and coming to the front of your mat. Start in mountain pose. Take a couple of deep breaths here to get grounded. Arms stretch overhead, hands come to heart center. Reach up towards the ceiling and come back down into your forward fold. Micro bend in the knee here. Half lift. Plant the palms and step or jump back into your first plank of the day. Moving back into your first down dog of the day. Breath here. The right leg will come into your three-legged dog here. Right leg comes in through to the chest, hold, and back up into your three-legged dog. We will do pulsations here. Pulse, 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 pulse up to the sky. And coming back through, stepping forward to your high lunge. Arms come up towards the ceiling, shoulders drop down, hips are square. Drop into your lunge here. Hands come to heart center. Shift your weight forward into your warrior three. Try to create a straight line from heel to crown. As you come into your standing split, we will move into 3 curtsies. 1, 2, 3. Standing split here. Transferring your weight to come back into your warrior three before gently stepping the left foot to the ground into your high lunge. Arms come down to the mat as you transition into lizard pose. You may drop your knee here if that is more comfortable. Right hand comes up towards the ceiling for a twist. Coming back into your lizard pose, we're going to do some hip drops. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Left knee comes down towards the ground. Right arm comes overhead as we reach for the foot and come into a nice twist here. This is a great thigh stretch. If you want a little bit more, you can drop down to your elbow as well. Right arm comes overhead and you will drop back onto your left knee into your half splits or Arda Hanumanasana. Make sure your hips are square here. Now transferring your weight forward, coming into a nice lunge here, and we'll go back and forth between your half splits and your forward lunge. Really getting great lengthening of the hamstring and the hip flexors as we move back and forth between each pose. Transferring the weight forward onto the right leg, come into a balance here, lifting one hand and then the other, holding on to your calf. Now slowly, without dropping your foot to the ground, come to a standing position. Left leg comes forward in front of you We're going to bend down and come up, down and come up, down and come up. Arms come behind you into drinking bird. Arms come up overhead and into heart center. Take a deep breath in, let it go. One more, in, let it go. Arms come up overhead, into heart center, back up, and forward fold. Half lift. Palms plant as you step or jump back into plank. Transfer the weight back into downward dog. Left leg comes up to three-legged dog. Bring the leg through into the chest and back up to your three-legged dog. Pulsing 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Leg comes into the chest and into your high lunge. Left leg forward. Arms up, shoulders drop, hips are square. Deep breath in and out as you drop into the pose. Hands come to heart center. Weight transfers forward into your warrior three. Straight line from crown to heel. Hands come down to the ground. Reach the right leg up to the ceiling into your standing split. 3 curtsies. 1, up to the ceiling. Curtsy 2, up to the ceiling. Curtsy 3, up to the ceiling. Hands come into heart center as you move back into a warrior 3 position. Then the right foot gently touches down back into your crescent lunge. Shoulders are down. Bringing the hands to the ground to your lizard on the other side. Again, you may drop to the knee if it's more comfortable here. You can drop to the elbows for a little bit more of a stretch. Left arm comes overhead and reaches for the right foot into this twisted lizard pose here. Getting a really good quadricep stretch and a little bit of a twist in the spine as well. If you want a little more, you can drop to the elbow here. Left arm comes overhead as you release the pose and drop back to your right knee into half splits. Arda Hanumanasana. Ensure that your hips are square. Micro bend the front knee. Coming forward into your lunge here. Again, you can drop your knee for a little more support. And we'll shift back and forth between our lunge and our half splits, really working on the lengthening. Coming into your lizard, we will do some dynamic bounces. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Drop down to the right knee, coming back into your half splits. Transfer the weight forward into your standing split and balance. Slowly and with control, stand up, bringing your right leg forward into one-legged mountain. Bend down and reach up. Bend down and reach up, and bend down and reach up. Last time here, we'll come into drinking bird. Come up onto the tippy toes if that's available to you. Arms reaching behind. Reach up to the sky. Hands come to heart center. Take a breath here as you prepare for the other side. Great job, you guys. This is not an easy flow. Arms overhead, hands to heart center. Dive down into forward fold, half lift. Plant the hands, plank. Down dog. Three-legged dog, right leg lifts, come through to the chest. Three-legged dog again, bouncing 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right leg comes through as you step into your high lunge. Shoulders drop. Hips are squared. Hands come to heart center as you transfer your weight forward into a warrior 3. I have airplane arms in this variation, but do what feels best. Coming into your standing splits as we curtsy 1, 2, 3. Hold your standing split. Transfer your weight into your warrior 3. Left foot touches gently back into your crescent. Coming down into your lizard. Right arm reaches up towards the ceiling. And release the twist. Coming back into half split on the left. Transfer the weight forward, back and forth, creating this really nice dynamic movement, lengthening the hamstrings, the hip flexors. Transfer your weight forward into standing splits and balance. With control, stand, bringing the left leg forward into one-legged mountain. Cross the left leg over into your figure 4. The left foot is flexed. Standing back up into one-legged mountain and drop down, reach up, drop down, reach up, drop down, reach up. Hands to heart center. Take a deep breath as we prepare for the other side. Halfway through this flow, you guys. Arms overhead, hands to heart center, and diving down to the ground. Half lift, hands plant, plank pose, downward dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Left leg lifts. Come through to the chest and lift up again into our bounces. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step forward into your high lunge. Arms overhead, shoulders drop, hips square. Come back to your breath. Hands to heart center into warrior 3. Straight line, crown to heel. With control, come into your standing splits. Curtsy 1, leg comes up. Curtsy 2, leg comes up. Curtsy 3 to the ceiling and hold. Transferring the weight with control into your warrior 3. Right foot touches down with control into crescent lunge. Coming down into your lizard. Left arm stretches towards the ceiling. Come back down. Feel this great hip flexor stretch here. Drop back into your half split as we go back and forth between half splits and our forward lunge. Again, this dynamic movement will help to break up the fascial adhesions, which will help you to really get into a deeper stretch. Transfer into your standing split and balance. With control. Standing up, right leg comes forward into one-legged mountain. Cross the right foot over into figure 4. Great job. Back into mountain. Drop down and up, down and up, down and up. Hands to heart center. Take a couple of breaths here as we prepare for our last set. Reaching up to the sky, hands to heart center, and down into forward fold. Half lift, hands plant, plank, downward dog. Three-legged dog, right leg up and comes forward. Back up to your three-legged dog, stepping forward into your high lunge. Arms reach to the sky, shoulders drop, hips square. Connect with your breath. Hand to heart center as you come into your warrior 3. Hands come to the ground, standing splits. Curtsy 1, reach to the sky. Curtsy 2, reach to the sky. Curtsy 3, reach to the sky. Transfer your balance back to warrior 3. Left foot comes to the mat with control. Crescent lunge. Hands come to the mat. Back to lizard pose. On hands or elbows. Breathe into the hip flexor. Drop the knee down, right hand stretches overhead and reaches for the left foot. Right arm comes overhead as you drop into Hanumanasana, half split. As you move back and forth again between these half splits and your lunge. Transfer the weight forward. Balance, and with control, standing into your mountain pose. Drop the shoulders back. Deep breath as we prepare for our last round. Arms overhead, hands to heart center, and forward fold. Half lift, plank, downward dog. Left leg comes up, three-legged dog, into the chest, back up to the sky, come into high lunge on this side, arms overhead. Drop the shoulders, square the hips. Warrior 3. With control, coming into standing splits, curtsy and lift, curtsy and lift, curtsy and lift. Coming back into your warrior 3 with control. Right foot touches down, high lunge. Touch the hands down to the mat as you come into lizard. The knee drops And your left hand comes behind you to reach for your foot, then circles forward as you move into your dynamic half split lunges. Moving into standing splits here. Balance, and with control, coming up to your mountain pose. Great job. Come to the center of your mat. We're going to come into a modified goddess pose here. Bend into one knee and then the other, rocking side to side. Just drop your right shoulder in and twist to the left. Coming to your center, other side, the left shoulder drops, twisting to your right. Come to the center, other side, right shoulder drops and center, and left shoulder drops. Hands come towards the ground as you stretch, forward fold. Right arm comes to the ceiling and down, other side. Left arm up as you get a nice twist. Grab your blocks as we prepare to move into our splits here. You're going to bring your left leg forward, your right knee behind you, just as if you were going to move into our half splits. Grab a block and put it under your left hamstring area. Now you are going to transfer your weight forward and use the block to support you as you place it under your left hamstring. Make sure that the hips are square. If you're not able to keep your hips square here, then you're going to need more support to be higher in your split position, so you can use a block on either side of you in your hands to prop you up even further. If that is comfortable to you and you're able to maintain square hips, you can remove that block and drop down a little bit further. Release the pose. Other side, using the block again. This time the right leg will come forward. And just as we did on the other side, you will come back into your half split. And then come forward into a full split, supporting your right hamstring. So notice on this side, I'm actually turning the block on a different angle to give me more height because I'm way tighter on this side. So depending on how much support you need here, you can position your block any way that you need. So now that I feel a little bit more comfortable, I'm going to position my block on the least supportive level here. This is definitely my tighter side. My left hip flexor is really something I struggle with. So I am not as flexible on this side as I am the other. Release the pose and come into a seat. Let's take a nice breath in together. 1, exhale, let it go. 2, exhale, let it go. 3, exhale, let it go. Namaste.